YouTube. I hope everybody can see me. Okie dokie. And I'm glad that you guys are here. And this is going to be quick, short, and sweet because, it's coming up summertime. So we all have something awesome and interesting to do, if not the weekends, throughout the whole full week. So what I wanted to share with everybody today is about this 4-step framework to skyrocket your year-end results. So this is about alignment. We're going to go through a little alignment for June. We're in June now. How have you done this first 6 months, or almost full 6 months of the year? What is reality really trying to tell you? So we're going to go through this beautiful little framework, and I can't wait to hear your comments and see what you're going to say about this and how you're reacting, because this is important. You have to stop and check your progress as you go along the way. And a lot of us, especially us sensitives and empaths and heart-led entrepreneurs, are just like, just let me get after it. Just let me get after it. Just let me go do it. But you can't be that way. You have to see what's working, what's not, what you need to change, how you need to change it, if you need to change it. So have you checked lately what's going on with you? So we are a few days into June right now, and I really want to ask you something. Have you, or are you really feeling, how are you feeling? And are you even thinking about your progress this year? If you have an online business or any business, I'm sure you're thinking about your progress and how your finances are working out and how things should be changing, or if it's working great. So it's one of those things, but it's not what people tell you. It's not what you post on social media, but it's honestly, how are you feeling about what's going on? Does it make you feel like, okay, I'm in a good place? Or, I just keep doing stuff and nothing's happening. I just keep doing stuff and nothing's happening, but I'm not going to give up. Where are you? Where are you? How are you feeling? Because I want to share something I learned this week. Realignment, which I don't even hardly use that word, but it is an important word to pay attention to. Oh, well, there you go. Realignment begins with paying attention. And are you paying attention? It's not judging at all. No judgment. No criticizing. Not criticizing. It's just paying attention, taking an overall view, detaching yourself emotionally from what all's happened in there, and then take an overall view about what you've done. What is reality trying to tell you right now? So come on in. I'm glad you're here. Welcome in. And if you don't know me, let me introduce myself to you. I'm Madeline. I'm a Texas mom of 3, grandma of 3, and I'm in my mid-70s. And I spent decades in the men's world, corporate, business ownership, that whole thing. And I kept marching to that drummer that was supposed to be that way when you're in a business professional world, right? But somewhere along that way, I learned to hide parts of me. And I learned that early on, parts of me that didn't fit in this type of environment where you get to the point, show up, be specific, do your PowerPoint presentations, make sure you stay on task. And it just didn't fit for me. And I was deeply sensitive and intuitive, creative, and very spiritual. And you don't exactly lead with that at all in the corporate or business world, do you? And so I buried her. I buried that. And I buried it for so long that eventually it was gone. It's one of those things that atrophy. When you don't use it, you lose it, right? Don't you always hear that? When you don't lose it, you use it. So I finally lost her. I totally forgot. And I went about, after I retired from corporate, I was still in that mode of forgetting who I was. And you don't even realize that you're doing that anymore. You don't even realize what is your new normal that's not really in line with your true heart self. Thank you. I see those hearts. Thank you for sharing them here on TikTok. And over here on YouTube, you guys put some comments in here and let me know that you're watching. And if you've missed this whole thing, because it's going to be a good one, you're going to want to watch it. It's not going to be long either. You can go to that YouTube channel and just start at the beginning and watch the full thing. And you can also scroll through that, however you want to. But once I joined Legacy Builders, Michelle, who's our founder and our mentor, kept saying, tell your story. Tell your story. Be yourself. Be yourself. Tell your story. You have to be transparent and true and authentic. Well, I was so trained of just showing up for the MAN and working with corporate execs that it took me almost 2 years to make myself believe, well, it's okay. It's really okay, because I had spent decades becoming comfortable hiding. Is that where you are? Is that where you are? Well, I'm here to throw you a lifeline, because it's not where you're supposed to be. That's not what you were put on this earth to do, to hide. No, no, no. You've got beautiful, beautiful messages and light to share. So today, after I finally got the hang of it, it took me some doing. So I'm not going to lie about that. Now, a lot of people get it right away, but they may have not had 40 something years or 50 of regular corporate training pounded into them. So today I'm happy again. And I love showing up here with you guys and being here just for you. And I'm building a business that honors all of me. Thanks to the Legacy Builders, thanks to me listening to Michelle, thanks for me doing my own self development with my different mentors and coaches, where I would allow myself to show up. All of me, the artist, the empath. It's hard for us empaths, isn't it? Absolutely. And the spiritual woman. Because as a business minded corporate survivor, when I was in corporate, business and my spiritual understandings and what I love to do in that world didn't mesh, didn't fit. And so I'm full of contradictions even now. But I realize, you know what? That's A-OK, because that's who I am. And that makes me happy. And, it's kind of one of those things where you have that woman's privilege where you can do something and change your mind. When you're corporate, oh, no, 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 you're committed to something. And it's not that I'm not committed to building my business and building a legacy, starting now in my mid 70s for me and my family, but it's a different type of commitment. It's one that you can have your own wiggle room in and let your own self show, but not in corporate. My bosses used to accuse me all the time. They'd say, oh, Madeline, you're so bohemian. And I'd go, thank you. They would go, well, we don't mean that as a compliment. I'm like, well, you should. Well, you should. And the corporate world out there is starting to change, starting to get with the program. Because why is that? That beautiful energy is changing of how you have to show up and present yourself. That's why it took me so long to be me, share my story, show up as me. And it's not that we did. We hide ourselves because we're afraid we're going to get hurt, for one thing, especially out here in social media everywhere. And there's the haters out there, but who cares? What's that song? The haters going to hate? It doesn't matter. It's it's about you. You be you no matter what. So this is bringing me to June. We're in June. Can you believe that? I mean, we just had Happy New Year, didn't we? I felt like we just had Happy New Year, but it's June. And June is the realignment month. Now, some people do it every 6 months. Some people do it every 90 days. I have never done it until this came and hit me in the head this past week as I've been studying. June is realignment month. And it's not just because we're halfway through the year, but because June actually, this gives us the perfect time to start to pay attention. And what are we paying attention to? Why? If you've been just skating along up until now, just going doot, 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 doot. No, pay attention. You start looking over your things that you've posted, the work you've done, what you've done for the past 6 months, 3 months, maybe even just the past month, maybe in the past week if you're brand new to this, and you start looking at what's working. Wow, what's working? What's not? And what is reality trying to tell us? So let's go over this quick little 4-step formula that I discovered that I'm excited to do and share with you. First one is cut. What do you think that means? Cut. So you're realigning, you're analyzing, you're looking, and the first step is cut. Well, no, I spent a lot of time doing that. I want to make sure it stays there. But you have to look at it. What needs to go? It's not just activities. Maybe some of those dull activities need to go. Well, here's a big thing that needs to go. Your limiting beliefs. You know, your belief creates everything for you. Either you believe you can or you believe you can't. You believe you will or you believe you won't. You believe this is for you or you believe it doesn't. Whatever you believe is what will come about because you're the manifester of that. It's energy. It comes through your energy frequency of what you believe. So maybe you need to let go of old limiting beliefs. And that's not often very easy because you got to search inside and to recognize, oh, that's a limit. Why do I believe that? Why do I believe that? I don't know why I believe that. Oh, that must be a limiting belief because it's stopping me from having the progress that I want to have. So that needs to go. Cut that. Cut those limiting beliefs. How about old stories? How about old stories that is not your story? You heard somebody say something a long time ago and you took that on. And you took that on long enough that it became your story. And so then that's your story that you start repeating and sharing with other people. And so they're hearing your story. They think it's your story. And then they take it and they take that story too. And it just goes right down the hole. It's like a rolling stone gathers no moss, but you want one. That's a good rolling stone. So start looking at why am I letting myself fall into that trap? What is that story? Why did I hear that story? I'm sure you'll think of several of them. And when you start thinking about these things, write them down because this is great soul searching time. This is great self development. This is great time for you to improve and change how you are interacting and reacting with all the nonsense out there in the world. If you see the cup, my guides always have told me we as humans always look at, we have a cup, a glass that's half full or half empty. How many times have you heard that? Oh, I have a glass half full. Oh, you have a glass half empty. Well, I'm a spiritual mentor, and my guides have always told me, we say, you have a beautiful glass. Fill it as you may. You have a beautiful glass. Fill it as you may. Now, you can use that glass as a metaphor for your being, for your belief system. Fill it as you may. It is beautiful. So you might want to write that down too. The other thing that you might want to cut is comparison. Trying to be somebody else. Trying to be something you're not. If you're in that hard 3D world out there making a living all the time, You're right in the middle of all of that. You're into the competition. You're into this store is doing better than my store. What's that store doing different? And then you try to do it, but you can't. Because again, it's about your belief structure that it's going to or it's not going to work for you. So you can't compare yourself to anybody else. You can't be somebody else. You can only be uniquely you. And yesterday we talked about three of the major things that are draining your energy. If you've missed that, it's on the YouTube channel. Go watch that because that's one of the things you need to cut out is things that are draining your energy because that's your life source. That's how you build. That's how income can flow into you and flow to you massively if you have everything aligned like you want it to be. So the first thing is to cut. What are you going to cut? You got any ideas? Put in here. Let me know. Have you thought about something? What do you would like to cut? Let me hear from you. Now, the second thing is, okay, so you're going through and you're cutting and you're cutting and you're cutting. This didn't work. This didn't work. You don't like how this sounds. You don't like what this looks like. You don't think you did this exactly right. Okay, so you cut it. So the second thing is, okay, what are you going to keep? What are you going to keep? First, cut. Second, keep. What is working? Have you got something that you've posted there on social media that's going great guns? Just do that again, just in a different way. And just keep doing that again. Analyze what part of that, what's working about it, and do it again. What is actually helping you grow? When you figure that out, keep doing that. Keep doing that. It's like don't keep sticking your hand on the flame because it's hot. You know that's hot. Oh, no. But you know you can turn the fire up or down and you know you can have it to cook with. So you want to keep that. Just got number one viewer badge. Thank you so much. You're awesome. I'm so glad you guys are here. Let me know about you guys. What's going on with you? How are you coming with this June realignment? It's a perfect time for realignment. A perfect time for you to put your Sherlock Holmes cap on and get your little pipe and just analyze stuff. And most of us are not analyzers, but there's a lot of us that are. And you're going to love this because it's going to so change your year-end results when you actually do this. So we're also keeping about what relationships have been helping. You have a mentor? I'm not getting rid of legacy at all. And my mentor, I have two mentors I absolutely love. In fact, I have three mentors. They're all something different. And I am not getting rid of any of that. And what activities are you doing that are creating results for you? Are you doing any activities? Yeah. Ask yourself these important questions. Don't throw away what's working just because it hasn't produced every result you expect yet. You have to give it time. You have to give time for people to find you. How can I manifest for pass the university exam? Oh, honey, you just only see you passing it. That's it. That's the only vision you hold. You pass it. I did that for one of my executive tests a long time ago. And I studied and I studied and I studied and I studied for that thing. And then when I got to take the test, none of what I studied was on it. It was one of those think off the fly type of tests. And it was a heavily weighted test. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And so when I got through with the test, I didn't feel like I did good. I was really kind of ticked off because I spent all these months studying and it wasn't the test. It didn't hardly any of the questions from what I studied were on the test. And they did that on purpose. They did that on purpose. So when the email came, when the letter came, pass, no pass. It was 3 separate parts of a test. I set it on my table and I set a candle on it and I let it sit there for a couple of days. I didn't open it. And I kept seeing that it said pass, pass, pass. Every time I'd walk by it, every time I think about it, oh, pass, pass, pass. Even though I felt like I didn't, pass, pass, pass. It's what you see and what you believe is what's going to happen. But if you start throwing in that little bit of a doubt that, well, maybe I really don't believe that, well, then there's another little place where it could snag you up. Absolutely snag you up. So just sit there, get calm, say a prayer, get into your nice, calm, meditative state, and just know you're past it. And when you're taking the test, now I didn't do this when I took the test a while, so because it takes me years. It takes you years to learn what I've gotten through all these years of learning. But it's like, had I just set myself centered before I even went in there to take the test and even said, you know what, I've studied. I leave it all up to you to help me answer this how I need to. And then go for it. Go for it. And then let it go. Just let it go. We make it so much harder than what we need to. So just know, don't throw away what you've been working on. Just know maybe you have to wait for the results to come through. You have to wait and see. And when they show up, like they did in my sealed letter, I didn't open it for a few until I felt like, okay, I can open this today. I'm in the right space. And it said pass, 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 which was a good thing because I had already decided I wasn't going to take that test again. I was so ticked off about it. So first is, what are you going to cut? Yep, take a look at it. So the second is, what are you going to keep? All right, I have no idea what that means. So if I feel like that's not appropriate, I will start to block you. So what are you going to cut? What are you going to keep? And then what are you going to add? Step number 3, what are you going to add? So you've already know what you're going to get rid of and what you're not going to do again. You know what you like, what you're going to keep doing and go again, again, again. So now, what are you going to add? What is your one focus? So as you look over your stuff, you start looking like, wow, I could add this. One thing, not 10, one. What could I add to improve all of my results? One thing. What's that one thing that would create the biggest shift in the next 90 days? It'll come to you. It'll come to you. So what are you going to cut? What are you going to keep? What are you going to add? Isn't that great? Isn't that simple? But you have to look at it from a higher perspective. You have to just start to analyze it. Look at the numbers if you want to, or just look at, most people look at numbers. I'm not necessarily a numbers person, but I see, oh, that's a like, oh, that's a follow, oh, that's just nonsense. And this worked and this didn't work. So what's your one focus? What is your one focus that you're going to start building on regularly for the next 60 months? 60 months. Wow. 6 months. Give it 90 days and see how you do. Then the 4th step, pay attention. Pay attention. I've not been really good at that, but I am now. Pay attention. I've learned to pay attention much more because this is the piece that's really stuck with me. Spirit will give you guidance, and data and analyzing will give you the feedback. We need both. We need both. If you're trying to grow a business of any sort, or improve your family life, or do anything in your life, in your world, pay attention. Sit up, look around, pay attention. What's happening? What's working? What's not? So we need both, especially online business world, are people opening your emails? Are they? They're not. Why not? Are they joining your community and happy to be in your community? Are they? If not, why not? Are they responding to your content? All that stuff. And if you're working on your personal growth, pay attention, really pay attention. Are you calmer? Are you more peaceful? More confident? Easier to get angry? More connected? The point isn't perfection. The point is awareness. And everything starts with you. You can't expect someone else to change to suit you. You have to accept people as they are. When you learn to accept people as they are and you send them light and love regardless, you'll notice a great change. I've tested that and proved that over several times. You have to, it all starts with you. Like I said at the beginning, you either believe it can or you believe it can't. You're the vase. Fill it as you may. Does that make sense? So the point is awareness. The point isn't about perfection, it's about awareness. Because what we pay attention to improves. Yep. So today, my friends, I want you to ask yourself 3 questions. After you review your past work and you start to notice what needs to be cut, what needs to be kept, yeah, you'll find out pretty quick when you start looking at it. And then what's my number one focus? Don't be scattered all over the place. What's my number one focus for 90 days? Give it 90 days. And most importantly, what is reality really trying to tell you right now? What is it? You get all the answers in your head anyway. Pay attention to them because January does not determine what December is going to look like. It does not. The first half of this past year does not determine what the second half is going to be like. What matters is what you do next. And if you're serious about making the second half of this year different from the first half, don't leave this live today, right now, without taking one action step. Without taking one. And the easiest one you can do is to grab that foundational blueprint that got me aware of all of this. And the link is up in my bio. If the link is not clickable, just copy it and put it in your web browser and drop your email in there. The blueprint's free. Plus, it'll show you the system that Spirit led me to when I was trying to rebuild my life and my income. So watch for that email from me. And when you get it, you'll see that I've sent you another email that has my Mystic's Path to Digital Abundance. So they go hand in hand. The Freedom Formula, the Mystic's Path to Digital Abundance, I made especially for you. So like I said, don't leave without taking that one action step. So let me know. You're going to put your email in up there in the link in my bio? I hope so. I hope so. And it'll get you started. And I'm here to help you get you started. So my friends, I love you. And you will get emails from me. And if you have any questions for me that you want me to help you and answer with you on, You have to reply to the email that I sent you and let me know at the subject line question. Tell me your questions. And then I'll see the best way I can help you. Okay, my friends, I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here. I'm so grateful that you're here. This is Wednesday. I will be out of town the rest of this week and some of next week. So if I get a chance, I will come on Friday at 9 like I usually do, hopefully. And I will see you then. But if not, we'll see you when I come back on. Make sure you follow me. If you don't follow me, you won't know when I'm coming on. So I love you and take care, my friends. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Art designer. Yes, I love that. CEO of Tired But Creative. Okay, change all that. Let's change that. Get your energy up and going. Get in my email list and I'll send you the invite to my community, my free community in school. That has lots more information for you about that. Okay. Oh, I'm glad. That's my painting. That's my art. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. So, see y'all Friday. Have a great day. Thank you so much. Love you guys. Bye for now. And you too. Thank you so much for being here too. Y'all are just awesome. And Facebook, oh my gosh, guys, let me know what you think. Make a comment. When you're watching all this over on the YouTube, it's on, the full thing is on Facebook, but it won't stay there either. But you can always